It was 2:03 a.m. when my phone buzzed. One message, from my wife. I lost track of time, that was it. No explanation, no apology, just those 5 words that said everything and nothing at the same time. I stared at the screen. We'd been married 7 years, and in 7 years she'd never lost track of time. Not once. I typed back, doing what? The typing bubble came up, then disappeared. Came up again, then disappeared. Then nothing. I waited a minute. Then another, no reply. The house was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes your thoughts louder. Her car wasn't in the driveway. Her side of the bed was untouched, still cool to the hand. Her perfume lingered faintly on her pillow, but it wasn't the one she wore to work. That's when the first thought hit me. Not jealousy, not rage, just a hollow kind of knowing, when something that used to feel safe starts to feel staged. I scrolled up through our old texts, the be home soon that turned into working late, the team dinner that never had photos, the way she'd stopped saying goodnight. I typed again, "Is Mike with you?" She read it instantly. Then came 3 dots, then 1 reply, "Stop, it's not like that." "Then what's it like?" I wrote back. This time, no response at all. I sat there, staring at the blue light of the screen, listening to the clock crawl toward morning, the kind of stillness that feels heavier than noise. Then, at 2:09, headlights flashed across the window. Brakes squealed on the gravel. The front door opened. She froze when she saw me sitting at the kitchen table, the room dark except for the phone light, and my coffee gone cold. "You're awake?" she asked. "Hard to sleep through silence," I said. "You're being dramatic," she replied, forcing a small laugh. "It's 2 in the morning. You said you lost track of time. How much time were you planning to lose?" She exhaled sharply and dropped her bag on the counter. "You're acting insecure again." "It was a work thing. Work smells like a stranger." "Cologne now?" I asked quietly. She turned toward the hallway. "I'm not doing this right now." "You already did," I said. She didn't answer. She just walked away. I didn't follow. Didn't shout. Didn't demand an explanation. Because sometimes silence says more than words ever could. That was the night something in me went still. Not broken, just awake. The morning after that 2 a.m. text, nothing changed, at least not on the surface. She acted normal. I did too. But something in me had flipped. I stopped asking questions. I started collecting answers. She kept saying it was just work, so I let her have her story. What she didn't know was that I'd hired a private investigator the following week. I didn't want gossip or drama, just truth. Days passed. Same pattern, late nights, short texts, a different perfume. Then one evening Alvarez, the investigator, called. "You wanted facts," he said. "You'll have them by Monday." By the time Monday came, I didn't feel angry. I felt ready. He handed me a small envelope, photos, timestamps, restaurant receipts. Her with Mike, dinner, drinks, walks that didn't look professional. I didn't need to open them twice. I just made copies, slipped them into a folder, and packed her bags neatly. 2 suitcases, work clothes and casual. On top, I placed the folder. I wasn't doing revenge. I was ending confusion. That night, when she texted, "Working late again." "Don't wait up," I replied for the first time in days. "Is Mike that good?" She read it instantly. No reply. 10 minutes later, headlights cut across the window. Tires screeched. She was home, fast enough to confirm the truth. That's the moment the panic in the title was born. She ran up the steps, eyes wide. "What did you mean by that text?" she demanded. I opened the door halfway. "You'll see," I said, nodding toward the porch light. Her eyes fell on the bags, the folder on top, her face drained of color. "You went through my things?" "No," I said. "I went through the truth." She flipped open the folder, saw the photos, the timestamps, and froze. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I didn't raise my voice, didn't curse, just stood there. "You texted me at 2 in the morning, I said, "and by 2:10 you proved everything I needed to know." She stood frozen on the porch, her eyes moving between the suitcases and the folder with her name written across the front. The porch light washed over her face, and for the first time in months, she didn't look composed. She looked caught between guilt and disbelief. "You can't be serious," she said. "You actually went and—" "What is this?" "It's everything you've been doing while telling me not to overthink," I replied. "Go ahead, open it." She tore the folder open, flipped through the photos, her and Mike sitting too close at dinner, his hand brushing hers, the elevator reflection of her leaning into him. Every page turned a little slower. Her voice trembled when she finally looked up. "These are out of context," she said. I shook my head. "You're holding his hand in a parking garage. Tell me what context makes that normal." "We were celebrating," she said, voice rising. "I got promoted. We had a few drinks. You're twisting everything." "I'm not twisting anything," I said. "You just don't like how straight the truth looks." She tried to steady her breathing. "You can't throw me out. This is still my home." "I'm not throwing you out," I said. "I'm giving back what you already took." "What's that supposed to mean?" "My peace, my trust. Every part of me that kept believing your excuses, they're yours now, just like those bags. Take them with you." Her eyes filled with anger, but underneath it there was something else. Fear. She pressed a hand against the door. "Let me in. We can talk about this, please." "We had months to talk," I said. "You talked with him instead." "That's not fair," she said sharply. "You don't just end a marriage over a few pictures." "I'm not ending it over pictures," I said. "I'm ending it over the way you looked at me while lying through your teeth. The pictures just saved me from doubting myself any longer." "You're being cruel." "No," I said quietly. "I'm being clear." Her jaw clenched. "You'll regret this. You're just angry right now." "Anger fades," I said. "Disrespect doesn't." She opened her mouth to argue again, but I stepped back and pushed the door halfway closed. "Keep your voice down," I said softly. "The neighbors are asleep. Don't give them a front row seat." Her eyes darted toward the street, then back at me. "You're really doing this," she whispered. "I already did," I said, and closed the door. The click of the lock was louder than I expected. It didn't sound final, it sounded free. From inside I could hear her pacing, then the rustle of the bags as she lifted them. No yelling, no more begging, just quiet footsteps fading into the night. I sat down at the table where I'd been sitting earlier that evening. Her coffee mug was still there, half full, lipstick on the rim. I picked it up, rinsed it, and set it in the drying rack. For the first time in months, the silence felt clean. The next morning, I found her key in the bowl by the door. She'd come back while I was at work, taken her things, and left without a note. The house felt bigger, emptier, but not lonely, just honest. That week, I called the lawyer and filed the papers. No drama, no public mess, just signatures and separation. She didn't fight. She didn't even try. Maybe she thought I'd soften later. She didn't know that softness had already turned into steel. A month passed. Then another. I heard through a mutual friend that the promotion she celebrated didn't last long. The office had a quiet shake-up, and her name disappeared from the company roster. No scandal, no big story, just another quiet ending, like ours. I didn't feel satisfaction, just closure. Now my mornings start the same way: coffee, open windows, silence that belongs to me again. Sometimes I think about that night, how her message came in at 2 a.m., and by 2:10 she was at the door, begging to fix something that had already fallen apart. People think the breaking point is the confrontation. It isn't. The real breaking point is when you finally stop explaining yourself to someone who stopped listening a long time ago. I didn't win anything that night. I just refused to lose myself any further. That's not cruelty, that's clarity.